So I got this spot in my basement that's just all kinds of scraps of wood. And this whole area was full of them. I started cleaning it out already. And it's just taking up a lot of floor space. It gets in the way. So I think I'm gonna try to build some sort of shelving or organization here where the wood can sit neatly, and then I could use the other space for other things. I got this this shelf thing. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves, and it's pretty thick. You know, I have a lot of these tins full of screws and whatnot, and the width of this thing is just double wide. And I can't always see what's in the back when the shelves are in here. I took the shelves out so I can cut this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split it. I'm going to split this whole thing in half. So there's actually, and I'm going to put one on top of the other. So I'm going to have double the height in shelves, but it'll only be 1 bin deep, so I can see everything. And I'm going to start by putting that over here in this space that I'm working on to organize it better. I'm going to start putting it right here, one on top of the other, and then I'll be able to get rid of all of these small things that just need, you know, a place to go. And they could be visible if just from the, you know, without having to dig through a cabinet. I got a whole bunch more over there. So it'll organize a lot of the things that are just like here's a bunch of more things. It'll organize a lot of the things one depth instead of one behind the other where it's hard to see. And that's where I'm going to start on this wall here. What's interesting is that my wife's grandfather built this shelf here. And I made this line down the middle here. But he made these lines here for the shelves that I took out, the 2, 1, 2. And just interesting, you know, here you have a piece it's got history. I'm working on something that was worked on by someone who is no longer with us. And it's very deep to be working on a piece that belonged to, and you can see the work that they did to measure where the shelves go. It's moving. So I cut around the sides with a circular saw. And the top actually didn't need a cut because it's got a crack right down the center. But I cut it down the sides. Now on the inside shelf I'm using a jigsaw. Tricks I've learned with tools is that let the tool do the work. Don't push it, just lead it. Let the tool do the actual cutting. Now, it didn't get all the way, so I'm probably going to use a hand saw for that little last nick. I had to actually put a hole right down the center with a drill to get the saw in. Yeah. So the last little nick, I just take a hand saw, just like that, and it's done. Now this should split right in half. Oh, looks like the top might need a little help. I'll use the hand saw for it. You know what? I'm gonna get the jigsaw here. So I finished the the rack. I put, again, I split it in half, and now I put one on top of the other. I left the back open because I want to organize this area here. I want to be able to put long pieces of wood right down, you know, put some sort of shelf here or hanger for long pieces of wood for storage. So I made a gap behind the shelf for those pieces to reach, because if the shelf would be against the wall, it would stop it at about 10 feet. Now that it's away from the wall, I have room to make, you know, probably 15 or 20 feet. Anyway, I started the process of cleaning up, you know, different buckets of screws, and I still have some room for other things. I just started the process, and this is it. Now I have many more shelves, and they're not so deep, so I can see from front to back, and it's the beginning. And that's it. And soon we're gonna continue this wall here and continue making organizing it in a way that we could utilize this space to its fullest.